Bickley and Marotta mornings. Arizona sports. The local sports leader. Bickley Blast.
We, the people, love to concern ourselves with other people's business, and in the world of sports, we love to worry about Kevin Durant's legacy and how he ruined it by joining the Warriors, who were coming off the best regular season in history. This is a narrative, folks, that needs a full stop, because you can make a very strong case that while KD has taken a lot of strays for his career choices, he should be praised for saving the legacy of Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and Draymond Green, because KD was the guy who put them over the top in the ensuing 2 years after their 73-win team had blown a 3-1 lead in the NBA Finals. So what if KD never went to the Bay Area? What if the Warriors never recovered from that Finals loss? The answer, not only would they not be a dynasty, they might symbolize one of the greatest collapsing acts in basketball. And it's not just me saying this. None other than former Pistons great and Suns de facto GM Isaiah Thomas made those comments to Draymond Green's face during a recent podcast, because they happen to be true. Anyway, KD is in the midst of his finest season in a long time, and his recent scoring barrage has the media's attention, and it's why the Suns are currently being considered a dangerous dark horse in the Western Conference, and if he brings a title to Phoenix, he'll end our suffering and his own, because nobody will talk about his legacy ever again. All right, today's Bickley Blast brought to you by my great friends at Chapman BMW, who make luxury attainable. Find them online at chapmanbmw.com.
I like the way you put that, Bick. Should be credited with saving the legacy of the Warriors.
You can flip this exact narrative on its head, and it makes even more sense that the Warriors, not Kevin Durant, should be blamed. The Warriors are the one that reached out to KD.
Yes.
Draymond Green is the one that called KD from his car after that Game 7 loss to LeBron and the Cavs.
Yes. And the reason why Klay Thompson could be obnoxious and flash four fingers when he's frustrated with Devin Booker is because of Kevin Durant.
Yeah, right. And the way Draymond Green can take shots at KD for how can you talk about, it's because he helped you get 2 rings.
You've got my phone number. Call me.
Yeah,
I'll talk about you on a podcast, but you have to call me.
Yeah, but so really, this is an interesting way to look at what is one of the more prevailing narratives in basketball, that KD blew it by leaving Oklahoma City to join Golden State, and when he didn't find what he was looking for legacy-wise, or when people started getting on him, he went to try to do it on his own and failed, and now he's here in Phoenix as one of the NBA's more well-traveled hobos. No, you can really make the case that KD saved their legacy. Cost his own maybe, but he saved theirs. And so it's an interesting thought. I like it. And I think that what KD has done this year is kind of reminded everybody that the player who's been very, very much criticized since Golden State, since the injury, since signing with Brooklyn, since the lack of availability, since bringing in everybody he wanted in Brooklyn, then bailing, he has taken a lot of strays, and he has been absolutely fantastic this year. So there you go. And I do think that that's a great legacy play for not only the Suns, but for him. Just win a title for the Suns. It all goes away for everybody.
That's the easiest remedy for all of this, because Kevin Durant himself acknowledges that.
We can't have Kenny Dillingham being the most accomplished KD in the Valley. Well, I guess we could, but...
Well, all due respect to Kenny.
Right.
It's still KD.
That's just a cheap try to joke. Sorry.
I'm trying to think of another KD athlete.
Yeah. Do we have one?
Kyle Davidson? Was there a Kyle? Kyle Davidson.
Kyle Dodd.
Kyle Dodd. Yeah.
Kevin Dinkle. Oh, that's
No.
The Dink.
Durant is on a heater. 4 straight games of 35-plus. By the way, by doing that, second guy in Suns history to do it, only the 14th active player to do it. And it was weird that he was not on that list with all of the things that he's accomplished. It was just an amazing statistic, but he's getting the notice of those around the league right now, including Shams Charania.
I think we've hit on it. Kevin Durant, a massive season. And just think about it. In 2019, he has the Achilles tear, and now he's in his age 35 season. He's got the most 30-point games for a player in his 35 years of age. Like, what he's doing this season is remarkable, especially the last 4 games or so. He's been taking up an even another level with Devin Booker out. 38 points tonight, 54% from the field, 47% from 3. So he's doing everything. This team is 19-9 since January 8th. And even though they've played 41 games this year without the big 3, just 24 with them, I think these next few weeks it's like just building momentum. With those 3 in the lineup, you have to have them. And
building momentum together, building momentum individually, too. Because Kevin Durant, previous to this stretch that he's on right now, he had some games in there that weren't exactly vintage Durant. 6 out of 15 from the floor against Oklahoma City in that loss. 7 out of 20 in a game that they beat the Lakers. 9 out of 22 in a loss to Dallas. So it wasn't, the smooth in a loss to Houston. He went 10 for 22, 1 for 7 from 3-point range. So people were starting to ask the question, all right, is this where Kevin Durant finally slows down? And he's answered that question very resoundingly with one of the biggest rampages from a scoring standpoint he's ever been on, and that's saying something.
It really is, because it really just seems like yesterday we're like, what is this funk that KD is in, and can somebody get him out of it? Yeah, He's and that came with that huge step back 3 in the midst of a very bad shooting game, and he's been on a tear ever since.
Yeah,
right.
That Denver game,
that overtime. Yes, exactly. The overtime in Denver, and it's been lights out ever since. And I think when you take a look across, and we've talked already about Kentavious Caldwell-Pope on a podcast with Chris Haynes. He's ID'd the Suns and the Thunder and the Timberwolves, if all are healthy, as primary threats to them. You might not have heard that a couple of weeks ago. You're hearing people ID the Suns as the biggest threat to the Nuggets, and it's all kind of tied into all of this stuff here. The return of Devin Booker, the continued brilliance of KD, who at age 35 is just still a bucket, as Chris Paul liked to say.
Oh, he definitely is. And we'll see that tomorrow night in Boston against the Celtics. Very highly anticipated matchup, especially after those 2 teams got together in Phoenix last week.
Thanks for watching Bickley and Marotta. Click to see the latest Bickley Blast and hit the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.